So, is this the first time you've slept outside in the winter?
No. Definitely not.
So you guys are veterans. You're going to have to teach the rest of us how to survive the
I'm
night.
Bridget Rulo with Marshall Monk, and my husband Scott is here, and two friends of ours.
That's wonderful. So why are you here tonight?
You know, it's something we have to do. You know, we try to give back to the community, and we've realized over the years that homelessness hits a lot more people than you realize, and it's just a great way to give back. So thank you for doing this.
Oh, it's our pleasure. Thank you for joining us. And so what did your friends think when you told them you were going to be sleeping out overnight?
Think we're a little crazy, but they know us really well, so they weren't surprised too much, actually. So they know we're a little crazy sometimes. So
That's great. So did you find it difficult to find people to support you guys?
No, definitely not too difficult. And you know what, people, this is a good time of year too. People are definitely in the spirit of giving, and I think because it hits a lot more people than you'd realize, you know, people can definitely relate and understand. So I think that helps.
That's great. So do you think this is going to be the start of an annual tradition for you?
It very well could be. Ask me in the morning, but yes, right now my answer is yes.
That's great. Well, thanks so much for coming.
Thanks for giving us the opportunity. This is a great thing you guys are doing.
Well, hopefully everyone gave everyone a nice little taste of what we were doing, and it was really successful. Actually, raised nearly $10,000 again this year, which is what we raised last year.
So fabulous.
I mean, it's amazing
Fabulous.
the generosity in the community and the
Yep.
support, even beyond the money. That as you saw, there were quite a number of people who actually stayed out overnight with us. There were
Yep.
about 20 people. Kids, scouts, people from church and businesses. People came up from Middlebury. So really, just a lot of great support for this important cause.
That's a huge thing, the community support. It really
Absolutely.
is.
So it all goes towards what you were saying earlier
Yep.
about if we can find ways to head off that problem by
Raise awareness and educate, and then hopefully we get rid of the problem.
exactly. Now we also like to practice what we preach. So what do you like to do to stay active and healthy? Are you getting to take advantage of the Y itself?
One of the biggest things with my employment at the Y is being able to use the gym membership, because prior to being at the Y, I had been working part-time, working to finish my degree, because I had never finished it when I was younger. So getting a full-time job, and one of the benefits was having a gym membership, has been phenomenal. And I'm not really strict with myself, but I go to the gym and I work out, and I love, because I actually live in North Canaan where we have another branch, and I love on the weekends, I can get up and say, hey, I want to go for a swim, and I go. And I tend to drag friends along with me, and then they wind up joining.
Nice. So has that been tied into any kind of New Year's resolution? It's the typical.
My New Year's resolution is to get to the gym at least one night a week.
I think that's really manageable.
Yep.
And that's the key. So many people set goals that are just unattainable, unachievable, and then you get frustrated.
Yep, and you give up.
Yeah. So the key is start small and build.
You have to make it real.
Absolutely.
You have to make it real.
So you've been able to stick with that so far?
So far.
Excellent.
So far.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Good luck to sticking with that.
Thank you.
So I guess talk to me, you talked a little bit there about what brought you to the Y and to this field. What were you doing before?
I actually had worked for a domestic violence not-for-profit, and absolutely loved that job. And they hired a new executive director, and she decided she wanted to hire her own admin. So there was a parting of the ways, and it made me kind of stop and take stock of where I was and what I wanted to do, what had I achieved, what did I want to achieve. And I always tell people I ran away from home. I went to visit a friend of mine who lives out in Montana, and I was supposed to be there 3 weeks. I stayed 7. And when I came back, I made my mind up, and I put together some part-time jobs, and I went back to school. And I graduated in May of 2012. And while I was at school, I actually got a part-time job managing an elder disabled housing complex, and really enjoyed it, because I get to help people, and it's still challenging, for me. And the job at the Y opened up, so I applied for it, and it's full-time, which is perfect. And I get to give back, because I really do enjoy working with my residents. I don't know, I kind of feel like a cross between a den mother and a sheriff. it's kind of an odd position sometimes, but I really do enjoy interacting with the people and trying to help them achieve whatever their goals are.
Sure, and you're probably you're able to draw on all the experiences and skills from your previous roles.
Yep.
I mean,
Yep.
there's definitely a lot of overlap there.
There is, and before I had gone into administrative stuff, I actually worked in construction and facilities for about 20 years. So as far as like the physical plant stuff, if we have a radiator that isn't working, I kind of understand
Always
what's
good to
going
have
on.
that knowledge and those
Yeah.
skills, yeah. Because we're working in the buildings that we do that have been around nearly 100 years,
Yeah, they're 100-year-old buildings, and
Yeah.
they're definitely quirky at times.
but they're landmarks in the community.
Love them. Love them.
It's nice having that history and foundation to build upon and continue that legacy.
Yeah, and I like how they haven't been overly remodeled, so you can actually see some of the architecture. So it's
Absolutely.
very definitely an old building that's being utilized, and it's not a new building that's been made to look old.
Right, right. So what are some of the other services that the residents can receive and take advantage of?
We
to help them?
have a support services coordinator. Her name is Tony, and she's there a few evenings a week and on Saturdays. And she works with the residents. She helps them fill out if they need food stamps or if they have a job application, they need help filling it out. Any items like that, basic life skills. And she tries to. She gets interesting speakers in. We have the people from DSS from the SNAP program coming in, showing people good nutrition and like substitutions that you can use, low-fat yogurt instead of this in some recipes. And she's involved with Susan B. Anthony Project. They come in. She has the director of the Litchfield County Continuum of Care coming in, letting people know what services are available out there, and connecting people with appropriate services. If somebody needs a ride, she'll help them call the TREAD program so that they can get a ride. And then a lot of one-on-one talking with people. Sometimes residents don't want to come to me because they had an issue with another resident, so they'll talk to her, and then she comes and talks to me, and we work together very much so to resolve those things.
All right, excellent. Now I know you were mentioning that the residents really don't visit each other's rooms, but beyond that, are they able to build a sense of community?
We have community rooms. We actually just got new furniture for our community rooms, which
excellent.
is really exciting. It came last Thursday. There are flat screen TVs in there. And there's a community room. We have 2 floors. There's one on each floor. There's a kitchen in each community room. And I do have a core group of residents on one of the floors who get together at least once a week. Yesterday for the football games, 2 of them went over to Stop and Shop, and they had pooled their funds, and they made individual pan pizzas to have during the football games. And it's really nice to see.
Oh, that's
It's
wonderful.
really nice to see.
So do you also become like an activities coordinator, creating events for the
Tony does more of that, but I've been getting involved a little bit. I actually reserved one of the community rooms for guys to watch the football game yesterday so that there wouldn't be anybody saying, oh, I couldn't watch the game, because it happens.
Sure.
I have 42 residents and 2 TVs.
Although I imagine a number of them have them in their own room.
They do, but there's something about watching your movie or your sporting event on the big TV.
Sure. And with someone else to cheer each other on or
And it's-
heckle each other if
It's
you're for
that
different
sense of
teams.
community.
Yeah.
It's that sense of community. So we do that, and we have residents who definitely have helped each other out. We had a gentleman who wasn't feeling well one evening, and not all of them have cars, and another guy gave him a ride to the hospital. So they very definitely have bonded with each other, which is nice. And Tony actually does a holiday dinner. She did a Thanksgiving dinner, she did a Christmas dinner, she did a New Year's Eve dinner for them, and everybody's invited. And sometimes some of them cook other dishes and contribute, and sometimes it's just whatever Tony prepares.
Yeah. And do you find most of the residents participate?
About half of them.
Yeah.
About half of them. I was happy to see a lot of my residents actually went to family members for Christmas,
Oh, excellent.
which was nice.
Do the majority have those family connections, or do you
About
find that
half
a lot,
of them do.
Yeah,
About
the other
half
are
of them
kind of
do.
estranged and
Yeah, or far away from home.
yeah,
Far away from home.
that can be a challenge.
Yeah. I have people who are from the Midwest and way down in Pennsylvania and out in California, so they're just so far away from their families, that's not practical. So, we decorate appropriately, and we try to make sure that they feel like it really is a holiday.
Excellent.
Yep, Tony got them all gifts.
Oh, that was
Made
nice.
sure they all had a present to open.
Very good. Yeah, it's not just about the kids. Everyone really wants to
Yep.
feel a part of the holidays and a part of the season.
You know, when you're a grown-up, they're practical gifts.
Yeah. and very well received, I'm sure.
Yes, absolutely.
Excellent. Now, are you aware of any plans to expand? I mean, you mentioned in that the Plan to End Homelessness, identifying more space for people, more permanent housing for people.
I'm not aware of any plans to expand. That's certainly something that as I get more familiar with, a full year cycle of the housing, I would like to look into. And I've actually signed up for a grant writing course to try and help if we do find a space or something that we want to do to try and assist in obtaining funding for it, because that's always a big issue.
Sure. And is there a lot of coordination between the different housing agencies?
Yeah. I work very closely with Torrington Housing Authority. They oversee our subsidies for our rooms. So I tend to speak to the director or the Section 8 program person over there at least once a week.
Okay, excellent. Now, what about the other places that provide supportive housing? Are there other ones in Torrington?
I'm more aware of the homeless shelters.
Okay.
I'm not aware of other low-income housing. I mean,
Like the
Torrington Housing
towers?
Authority has
Yeah.
low-income housing, and I do steer people there. If it's a couple, I'll say you need to go here. This is their address. Fill out the application and everything. I work more closely with the homeless shelters,
Okay.
getting people, the fish shelter in particular.
So from the shelter into the Y.
Yep.
No.
Yep.
Okay.
So, and then hopefully find a job. We do have residents who are doing really well with that.
And that's not easy for anyone in this economy.
No.
So.
No. And
Yeah.
there's a career center up at the Goodwill up on East Main Street.
Okay.
And a lot of my residents go there, and they've been assisted with writing their resumes and getting more comfortable with the computers. So it's a really good thing.
Yeah, a lot of good resources and assets out there between the library, the local colleges.
Yep.
I know here in Winsted, a lot of people really make good use of that,
Yep.
those resources. Is there any type of nursing assistance or mental health
If
assistance?
people
or-
need that,
Yep.
they're welcome to come in. The White House, we do have a visitation policy. People have to show ID, and we do actually check those people to make sure they're appropriate to be visiting the White House. But I do have residents who have, medical deliveries, or they have a CNA that comes in to check on things. We don't actually offer that, but we assist any way we can with making sure they get those services.
All right, terrific. Well, I really appreciate having you on today. I think
Thank you so much for inviting me.
I've learned myself a lot, and hopefully our audience has picked up a few tidbits that they can use and pass on. And wish you best of luck
Thank you.
as you continue for the next 5, 10, 20 years. Hopefully you're with us.
Hopefully. And if any of your audience members want to try and help, they should get the report from the Community Foundation, and they can actually contact me at the White House, which is 860-489-3133, extension 122, because we do have needs from time to time. Residents, might need a gift card from CVS to pick up a prescription, or some food, a food card from
Sure.
Stop and Shop or Big Y.
All right, great.
Thank you so much.
You got it. And we'll see you again soon on the next episode of Focus on Health. Have a great night.